All right, now we're going to get into the DAW options that you have used with your MPC. So the MPC comes with its own software that from AKAI, and that is something that's really handy for people that don't want to upgrade to a different DAW, or just really like that it's set up kind of similar to what the MPC looks like. So it just kind of gives you just an immediate feel of not really changing too much when you transfer from the controller mode to standalone mode in your MPC. So this is what the MPC software looks like. As you can see, it kind of has the look a little bit of the MPC itself with the pads down here. You can upload sounds to programs on here, so you can edit your programs that you have on the MPC when it's plugged in. Also, just as I said, you can record audio just as you would with any other DAW. But yeah, I think the main benefit of using the MPC software is that it has like the controls on the top that mirror what's on the MPC. So it's very familiar for people that aren't typically used to using other DAWs. This can just be a really nice transition to be able to do some editing on your computer without having to have a big learning curve there. I think Ableton is a really great DAW, and to me, it's very intuitive, but it doesn't really matter which DAW that you use, just using something that you have first and foremost, whether it's a GarageBand that comes with your computer or Pro Tools, Logic, Fruity Loops, it all essentially do the same thing. So the point is, getting your tracks, if you're using standalone mode on the MPC, you want to bounce those to audio files and then transfer them into a DAW to do your final mixing and editing. You can do some mixing and editing on here really, and then just go a stereo out if you want to keep it super simple. In order to share stuff, obviously you have to be able to transfer it on the computer. So if you go into the menu and hit that little folder button, there's export, and that'll just export your separate audio tracks. Or one of the reasons why I love using Ableton with the MPC is they have a feature on the MPC where you can save directly as an Ableton live set, and that will open up on Ableton with all your audio and MIDI tracks on there. And you can even have it so your MIDI tracks will save as audio files, which is extremely handy. So you would just go in, export, and bam, then you'd save it onto your either like an SD card. There's an SD input in the back here, or an external thumb drive, and then you transfer that onto your computer, and then boom, you open up the track. Alternatively, if you're using a different DAW, or if you just don't want to save it as an Ableton set, you just go to export, and then you choose a couple different settings on here, but it'll save all of your audio files just as separate audio tracks, as well as it'll save your MIDI files as audio files as well. So that is a great tool to be able to export any of the tracks that you have to use in any DAW. There's Pro Tools, Fruity Loops, Reason, GarageBand, whatever. It doesn't matter what you're using, then you can use that tool and then just export it onto your computer and do your final editing and arranging, whatever. So numerous DAWs will essentially do the same thing as I was saying, but the main thing is being able to bounce your audio files off of the MPC and then import them into your DAW of choice. And then you could do, final mixing, arranging with a lot more ease than you could do directly in the MPC itself. All right, well, that concludes our DAW options that you can use with your MPC. And now we're going to get into finding your workflow.